Well, everyone, the Samsung Galaxy S10 is by far one of the most amazing phones that Samsung's ever made. I still think it has so much value inside in a lot of different ways. But the interesting thing with this particular phone is that I think there are probably some reasons as to why you should probably still keep your Samsung Galaxy S10 in 2023. And now that we're going into 2024, I think this phone is still interesting enough to look at, and we'll talk about those reasons in a second. Now, the first thing I want to state is that the body of this phone is actually still super amazing, and I think Samsung did a really good job of it back in the day in 2019, and I still think this thing still has one of the best bodies I've ever seen on any phone. That dynamic island display on the front is really good, and I think Samsung knocked it out of the park back in 2019, and I think this phone in and of itself has a lot of value from that specific perspective. When I compare this thing against the S23s, it's shocking to me how good of a job Samsung did with this phone, with its curved glass, with its hole punch display. The only thing it's missing is like a 90 or 120 Hz display, but I still think this thing still has a pretty decent display when it comes down to it. Now, on top of that, with a phone like the Galaxy S10, you are still getting a very good camera sensor. Like this thing having that triple camera setup, a wide, ultra-wide, and telephoto lens, although the quality of this camera has definitely been improved with the more recent, Galaxy S23s and the, S23 Ultra especially, I still think Samsung did a good job on this phone back. Actually, they did a great job on this phone back then, but now, I mean, it's definitely still kind of showing its age, but I think Samsung, for a Galaxy S10 from 2019, like over a 4-year-old phone, I think it's a very good camera that you can still buy, in this day and age. On top of that, I would probably say the fact that this thing has a USB Type-C port, a headphone jack, and a micro SD card slot is by far one of the coolest things that this phone ever had. It was the last Samsung Galaxy S phone to actually have that type of capability, for it to actually have that micro SD card slot, headphone jack, and that USB Type-C port. That kind of quality in a phone is insane, and I think by far the standout feature of this phone is probably the fact that it had that, triple, kind of, IO in it from that point on, which was amazing. Now, I would probably say that the most lackluster thing about this phone is probably its software. The fact that this thing is no longer getting software support in terms of like full-on OS updates, I think is a little sad. But whenever I pick up my Galaxy S10 and I go ahead and kind of mess around with it, I play games on it, I use applications, basic things like Snapchat, TikTok. But even when I'm comparing it against the latest generation, I'm very soon going to be comparing it against the Galaxy S24, I'm still shocked by how good of a job Samsung did back in 2019 and how this phone still holds up so well in 2023. So if you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.